entrance and into the post-game fiesta at the CBD Kratom backyard. Enjoy live music, dancing, delicious food, and micheladas made to your liking. Don't miss out. Get the details at rangers.com/Viva Texas.
CarsForKids.org. Right off the car, not the kid.
Donate your old vehicle to CarsForKids.org to make a difference in the lives of kids. Free towing from CarsForKids.org, plus a $50 gift card.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey Sports. For even more coverage of your team, download the free Odyssey app and listen to your favorite stations, shows, and podcasts.
Your turn it on, leave it on. Home of America's team is 105.3 The Fan. Hello, baby. KRLD FM and HD1, Dallas Fort Worth.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
From our fan studio, secured by DFWsecurity.com, you're rolling with the G-Bang Nation on 105.3 The Fan.
Here we go. It is the G-Bag Nation with some Rangers extra innings on the side as we open up our 1 hour that we will get this afternoon/evening with you. It is a pleasure and an honor to be broadcasting with my man to the right, Brian Broaddus. You do have Alec Medford right now in the Pimp Cup over there, Wolchuk and Chiafalo, and Mike Peasley nice enough to stick around and do some Rangers extra innings with us. As the Rangers get the dub 4-3 and they win another series, they've won all of them against the AL West. Mike, good evening to you. Great job in the pre and post.
Thank you, guys. Again, just a great series victory. You know, they played all four division opponents. They've taken 2 or 3 from all 4 of them. 2 of them on the road, or 3 of them on the road. Houston, the Angels, and now Seattle. And to take 2 or 3 on the road, especially considering the Rangers had never won in Houston of late. They had lost 9 straight series in Seattle. And to win the rubber game of those series, impressive stuff.
Indeed, impressive stuff, and it is still early, but a lot of good signs going around with this team. Now, there was some controversy back in the bullpen during the post-game show, a little bit of a discussion led by Broaddus. How much consideration did you give to Dane Dunning for player of the game?
Oh, a lot. Did you not like that, Broaddus?
Mike, now that Gavin has put me in this situation, no, I hated it. I wanted Dane Dunning.
He was really upset. He was really hung up on those Simeon 2 strikes.
He's like, he struck out twice, Mike. I go, Peasley struck out twice. What are you doing? I said that, and to be totally honest with you, Dane Dunning, and I'll say this, so, we've talked about, it's like he's just kind of filled in for what's going on with DeGrom.
I had your back, though, Pease. I said the man had a home run and 3 RBI. What do you want? It's a 4-3 game.
I said, Dane Dunning, look what he's doing.
Yeah.
He goes out there, pitches. He doesn't give up anything. I said, Peasley needs to be considered for me, maybe doing his job.
Well,
I said that.
Right. How many starts was it before he finally won a road game? 27?
27.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Jinx. Yum me a soda. I got one. It's 43 years old. It's 20
you might have to
yards
drink
away.
that after the Lakers.
I mean, you could have gone 1A, 1B for the.
Don't do that to me, Mike. I want a little yell back. I want a little fire back.
Go at Broaddus, okay?
He's going to get me later. I'm
in too good of a mood. There is, because
I don't blame you. Don't mess with me at all.
There's nothing worse than covering a bad baseball team. There's nothing better than covering a winning baseball team. Yeah. When you go to the ballpark every single day and you think you're going to have a chance to win a ball game, this team is really starting to fully believe in themselves too. That this is a good team,
Mike.
It's a good team.
How did they weather all the injuries that they've had? The Seager thing. I mean, it's like he's on a rehab assignment tomorrow, right?
Yep.
And so it's like we've never even, like all the weeks he's been out, we haven't even really talked about it.
It's just the depth, Brian. It's the depth that they have. Ezekiel Duran has stepped up. Robbie Grossman got off to such a slow start, and I had friends texting me. It's like, oh, Robbie Grossman, did they need to get rid of him? I'm like, calm down. It's April.
Yeah.
And he turned it on.
I'm sorry about texting you about that. That was bad for me. I'm sorry, Mike.
Leody Taveras, after starting the year on the injured list, he's come up, and I think he's hitting over 400 right now here on the first 6 games of this road trip. So they've just had everybody up and down the lineup, and Jonah Heim has just been out of his mind. I mean, if you're looking at an all-star, that is the definition of an all-star right there, what Jonah Heim has done.
That kind of production to the plate from a catcher these days,
huge.
In history is almost unheard of. Yeah. What do you think, him or Dane Dunning for most improved player so far?
I would go with Dane Dunning.
There you go.
That's for you, Broadus.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's for you because Dane
I
Dunning,
wish you'd have gone the other way. I'd have said, Dunning hasn't done anything.
I mean, Dunning he's been probably the most valuable pitcher that the Rangers have had just because of the roles that they have put him into. You know, the long man role, and now he's filling in as a starter for Jacob deGrom. And, you know, Jacob deGrom, you can't do much better than 11 innings and 2 runs. And, you know, that just, you know, gives deGrom more time to heal. And, you know, if you can get him back into that rotation as well, put Dunning back into the bullpen, that's going to help out the bullpen. But Dane Dunning has just been unbelievable with what he has done so far this year.
You mentioned the bullpen piece. How about Will Smith being able to close this thing down now and kind of putting some maybe frantic worries, which I certainly had after Burke got a little struggle there, but he put it all at ease.
It's nice to have an uneventful ninth inning, isn't it? And that's the thing about having a veteran guy like Will Smith is that he can have a short memory. Friday was awful. You know, that was hard to watch. I'm sure it was hard for him to sit on, but then he comes back Monday, strikes out the side, comes back today, has a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts and a ground out. That's the benefit of having, you know, a veteran presence like him there in that bullpen. Do the Rangers still need to upgrade the bullpen? Of course they do. I mean, it's still very, very shaky. It's still nervous times. Anytime the Rangers trying to protect a 1-2 run lead in the 8th inning, you know, bring out the Maylocks because it's going to be like that. But, you know, credit Jonathan Hernandez. You know, he was able to get the job done there with the big strikeout of Cal Raleigh in the 8th inning.
I still spell relief ROLAIDS, by the way.
Any of those can be sponsors for your show. You know, we're all welcome.
Let me ask you this, though. Any chance that Dunning could be a closer?
No. Because he does, as a closer, you want guys that can get strikeouts.
Okay.
You know, Dane Dunning is
ground
more
ball. Yeah, he used his defense today.
He does, and he is one of the top pitchers. And we talked about this in the Rangers roundtable. At least Matt and Jared did, in terms of getting soft contact. Yeah. You know, that is Dane Dunning's strength. When you talk about back end of the bullpen, 8th, 9th inning guys, you want guys get in there that can blow somebody away, get the strikeouts.
There you go.
Got a 4-gamer against Oakland coming up, right? So they're going to have to win 3 of 4 to keep this streak going. You like their chances?
Oakland's terrible.
Nice.
Oakland is god-awful.
Let's go.
That's the nicest thing I could say about the Oakland A's. They are god-awful.
I love it, Mike. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy your evening, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Always great talking baseball with you guys. Thanks.
Yes, sir, it is. There he is, Mike Peasley, pre- and post-game show host of, several teams, including your Texas Rangers right here on 105.3 The Fan. The Tex is loving you. Mike Peasley, glad to hear you on the radio again talking baseball. It's always good.
Stuff.
We got to kick off this G-Bag party and celebrate this Stars dub. Maybe a little bit of a crow-eating session. Okay,
damn right.
Maybe for myself and Brian brought us a veritable crow feast here.
Absolutely.
We'll roll out the buffet, perhaps the first Stars crow session of my life, and I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to dig in here, Brian. How about you?
Oh, no, I tell you what, I'm the guy that talked about, I don't like the way this team looks, 4-3, Kraken overtime win. Yeah, I was glad that that ended the way it did. I was going to wear the Stars hat today.
Yeah.
And I thought.
You were too ashamed.
You didn't deserve it.
You couldn't wear that proudly.
I was too ashamed. I didn't want to okay, now you're jumping on the bandwagon again, Broadus.
Proud of your team, ashamed of yourself.
I was very ashamed of myself, but I'm glad they got the dub. I'm glad everybody else, you guys across the table, that you guys were confident. Gavin and I, not so much.
Now, hey, if you were watching last night on the stream or whatever, you would have seen me in a beautiful Dallas Stars polo shirt. So I was supporting them, but I was also doubting them. I was just trying to be realistic with what my feelings were, and I appreciate you guys allowing me to be vulnerable like that and being wrong, frankly, and keeping me accountable. So, I was wrong. If you believed in the Stars, you were right, including our program director, Gavin Spittle. He tried to tell me several times yesterday in the 5.
He did his best.
I'm stupid.
I tried the whole show.
Yeah,
Otter's fine.
You're
Don't worry about it.
I am ugly, and you are good looking. So
thank you.
Well, it's all those numbers. Usually you get overwhelmed with numbers from from Chief over there, but Wolchuk threw you that. Well, he's like, this guy doesn't lose after he has a bad day, and I'm like,
the bounce back game,
whatever you want to call it. But yeah, good job, you guys. Bad job, me.
All righty. What else do we have going on? Oh,
how about
look
Gavin
at this.
just throwing me on front of the bus.
Did you like that? I wanted to get. I would have
started. You were waiting all day on that one, weren't you?
Well, about 20 minutes.
I was, and I'm not lying. I was like, Peasley, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I was that guy.
Give it to Dunning.
Yeah, Dunning's pitching great.
Hey, 2 strikeouts for Simeon. What the hell, Pease?
I don't care about his 3 ribbies.
Yeah, everybody calmly looks at me and goes, he had 3 RBIs.
Yeah, where were the runs coming from, Brian?
And I'm like,
he got the party started. He did,
care.
and he finished the fight for the Rangers. But no, I thought that was a good way to start the show. You know, let Peasley know we're here to have fun and throw each other under the bus.
Yeah, well done,
Oh,
Gabby.
no,
You
throw
crushed
me
that.
under the bus, not you or anything like that.
Well, I'm not going to throw myself under the bus. That's
You
your
should
job.
have. You agreed with me.
That's your job.
I think you
Step
agreed
your
with
game up, bro.
I thought I did. Well, the hockey was wrong. I am struggling a little bit. I need to get some of this stuff right.
That's all right.
Go Lakers tonight, right?
You should probably
Go
pick the Warriors tonight is what you should do.
Go
Okay,
Warriors.
yes, the NBA playoffs tonight. You have the Heat looking to finish off New York in Gotham, and you have the Lakers looking to throw the KO blow on Golden State. Bet payoff on the line. Speaking of the boss man, Gavin Spittle,
This is interesting.
he did have a bet payoff idea for y'all.
For both of us.
Yes.
Is it like a duo or are we like 2
It is a
fills?
duo.
It's very duo. Yeah.
It's called Tie the Knot.
Okay, hold on.
We've already done that though.
Right? You know, he's
my boo.
This would be a symbolic gesture, a reflection of your relationship.
Okay.
And throughout the show, you would be tethered together by about a 6-foot rope
I call top.
or chain.
Okay, but what is the chain connected to?
But you're
Each
more
other.
bottom.
Yeah, but
Okay.
like is it just like chained to my wrist or something?
Arms, legs.
You guys could choose.
Okay.
Yeah. Whole show, wherever one goes, the other has to go, including the restroom.
Restrooms.
So you got to walk with me after every single segment.
I was about to say I'm
and
gonna get a lot of
my
steps in that day.
Get a lot of steps
You
in.
get to talk to his family
Woolchuck
quite a bit.
will get a lot more trips to the restroom in.
That's true,
man.
I'll get to do the FaceTiming.
I'm doing a lot of peeing these days during the show.
I don't know if this bothers them, Broadus. I think they're
I
like,
think
what's the
If
problem?
that's our payoff, hey,
I
after
ticked
going
about
through
this.
what
No,
we've
no, no.
gone
Sounds
through,
awful.
I think it's actually closer. Like I'm thinking, like maybe like if they were doing a
we have to share a mic all
Spent
show.
their last 3 years at UNT like this.
no, but I'm talking like if they had to do the one-legged or the two-legged race thing.
That would be
Like
good.
That tied together, that close, not 6 feet apart,
Not 6 feet.
but no,
Well,
like,
I just wanted to think-
shoulder to shoulder
Pandemic
the
rules.
whole day.
They're positioned farther apart.
Oh, no, we can move
get
the
these
mics.
mics
We can
closer
move the
together.
mics, yeah.
And then I want to make sure one can be in a stall sitting down while
That's-
the other has enough leash to be out.
I think we
No,
can
no,
do
he
that.
needs to
we
be
don't want
in
an
there
HR
with it.
violation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 972 said, no, you have to do it Ted Lasso style. And I thought that's what you were going to reference, Brian. If you haven't seen one of the latest episodes of Ted Lasso,
Yeah.
they do this, but it's with a body part that would not be fun.
And string.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds great.
No, that is inappropriate.
See, that's what I.
That is
was my
FCC
initial concern.
violation.
That's why I asked, like, where is the chain located, or the string, or
but
what
then
have
again,
you?
it wouldn't be our first time.
Yeah, that's true.
You've done this before?
Are you kidding me? How do you think we got through college?
Oh.
So much
explain.
Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, Bo Jackson apparently has a hiccup affliction.
Okay, this
This is one of the weirdest stories. I thought I was getting butt cracked. Did we all think for at least a
Yes.
second we
Yes.
were getting butt
I
cracked?
was getting butt cracked.
No,
Yes.
I've seen this, and it actually is the girl that I've been dating. She has this problem, but she won't get it checked.
She gets butt cracked a
She
lot.
has, well, all right, that's a different story
Recently.
for another day. But she has hiccups every time I've seen her.
Is it how? Is it the entire
It's not-
duration, or is it
it's
like
not
a
like
30-minute period?
It's just
or-
like a, just one. And
Just
then
one?
Maybe there'll be another one that pops up an hour later.
You
But
ever
she
sure that's
has
not
them every
Tourette's?
single day of her life.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
for
Tourette's,
how
you think
many?
Tourette's?
Yeah,
should I
just-
bail on this?
No.
No, she sounds like a wonderful woman,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
certainly Tourette's would not be a deal breaker.
No, not at all.
Because I have undiagnosed Tourette's. I don't know how I haven't been fired yet for saying something bad on air.
Same here.
I worry about it every show.
Well, yeah, Bo apparently has this hiccup affliction, and it's
Yeah, it's bad.
it's kind of funny. And then you think about how much it must suck to be sitting there and how uncomfortable hiccups can be. If it's a couple an hour, that's one thing, but Bo's got them a lot more consistently. He's about to have surgery, and
surgery.
When I saw this New York Post story about it, I was like, okay, now I really got to check to see if this is a butt cracking, because apparently one of like the home remedies is to smell a porcupine's backside. Speaking of getting butt cracked.
Oh, no
Yeah.
way.
You get your face in there and you give it a big whiff. And apparently, you can Google it right now. I really thought I was getting pranked when that story
Does
happened.
it have to be
Google
the
it.
skunk?
You're
Bo
totally
Jackson.
honest. No,
he
you're-
should dial up that fart spray that canceled a local school here.
Oh, yeah. It was
You
like
know?
a German fart spray.
That might be the one last Hail Mary to avoiding surgery is getting the death fart spray. Because that seemed like something that, I mean, he sprayed it on Wednesday. They were canceling school on Friday. That thing was ridiculous.
Put people in the bleeping
Brian,
hospital.
Now, I want to know how he executes the skunk. Like, did he have to buy a pet skunk to keep it nearby?
See, that's the kind of reaction to the story that I like.
Yeah.
You know, I would say you go to maybe a skunk, not a skunk, but a porcupine rescue.
It's a porcupine.
Oh, it's a porcupine
not a skunk.
rescue.
No.
Whoa, dude, a
I said
porcupine.
skunk.
He said porcupine.
He said, okay, I heard skunk. I apologize. When I think of sniffing disgust, I guess I immediately go to skunk. I apologize. I misheard the situation. But the question still stands.
It does. You know, I think maybe you go to a rescue. Maybe you go. Maybe somebody specializes in offering this service because the hiccup. But Brian, you doubted it. Tell me if you got your bifocals on. You can read the top line of that over there, Krusty.
got 'em on.
What does that
Bifocals.
say?
Bo Jackson says he smelled of a porcupine to try and cure his year-long hiccups. See,
Yeah,
Bo Jackson.
A-double-S.
Yeah, Bo Jackson.
Wow, bro.
Bo Jackson from Alabama, right?
Says it doesn't work, but yeah, he tried it.
He tried.
Oh,
Okay.
so it didn't even work for
No,
him. That's a bummer. I'm telling you, the fart spray would be a level up for him. We need to get his people in touch with their people.
Worth a shot. I mean, I'd rather try something like that than have a surgery
When
for
you
it.
and your girlfriend are hanging out, do you
Okay,
wait?
girlfriend isn't a word yet that I'm using.
Okay, your friend, your buddy,
Your
whatever.
friend that's a female.
Do you guys sit around and wait for the hiccup?
No, it'll just all of a sudden happen.
And then you say
and then I
something.
laugh at her.
Place bets?
And then she's like, shut up.
Does it startle
I can't
you
help
ever?
it.
Does she sound like
Have you ever
that?
been frightened by the
Yeah, exactly like that.
like the sudden noise? Has that ever scared you? Because it felt like it was a
does.
little bit loud.
It startles me.
Yeah.
It does. It's startling because
It's startling,
it
huh?
happens out of nowhere. Next thing you know, it's like, whoa, wow, what was that?
Oh, wow.
That's not normal. Maybe you
That's
should get it
crazy.
looked at.
Well, I do think it's a bummer that it has to be a porcupine of all animals as well. That seems like a pretty...
That's an Alabama home remedy thing there, I think. Deep South kind of thing.
Porcupines are like something
Porcupines?
I would imagine. Well, it's spelled with a U, you know? Like we
Porcupine.
say,
Porcupine.
Yeah, porcupines. But like touching it and stuff,
Porcupine.
right?
Yeah, because it would hurt.
That's what I imagine.
I think
I've
I
never
would.
been
You'd have to
anywhere
get a
around one.
professional handler.
That just seems like a lot to do about some hiccups. As annoying as hiccups
Okay,
are.
let me tell you
I
what,
just want to
I
go
would
inside. We
sniff-
need a 30 for 30 on
No.
the one porcupine nose to ass visit that Bo Jackson
no,
just got.
anything to get
Like,
rid of the
I'd watch
hiccups,
it.
yes,
What were
I'm
the-
totally
what
in.
were the details?
I'm in. You tell me this is going to keep me from getting hiccups, I'm in.
I think
Yeah,
I'm probably
I'm
into
in.
it,
I'm
especially
in.
after a year. No question.
But Bo did say it didn't work.
I know it didn't work, but I would
Yeah.
try. I mean,
I'm fascinated by the execution.
if someone said, Brian, this would work, I would do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
do
this
it.
would be torturous
Yeah.
to be dealing with these hiccups. Doctors, by the way, say if they last more than 48 hours, you should go see them. By the way, just as a guideline for the future.
What? He's had it for a whole year?
He's had it for a year. Yeah.
They might not be able to fix this thing now, huh?
Unfixable hiccup. Well, it sounds like he's going under the knife to cure
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
you
Hopefully
know?
they can just cut something out or trim something up. Texans finalizing 3 years, $36 million with veteran guard Shaq Mason. So not that the Cowboys were interested, but good job for Shaq Mason there. He's got a job, and I guess that's about the price of doing business there for anything resembling a quality veteran guard.
Did I ever ask about Shaq Mason? I don't think I did. Did I?
I don't know.
I don't think you asked about Shaq Mason. No.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
You asked about Mason Saunders, which isn't that the name of the rodeo pitcher that we were all trying to get to town? Wasn't it Mason Saunders?
Oh, about the guy that pitched for the Diamondbacks.
Madison Bumgardner? Was
Madison
that his
Bumgarner.
rodeo name?
I think wasn't it Mason Saunders? I feel like it was. I'm
Yeah.
on it.
I think
You're
you're right.
the baseball guy. What are you shaking your head for?
This is news to
But
me.
he's not the rodeo guy.
I don't, the rodeo
He knows
stuff.
Mad Bum.
The only one that I talk to is Taylor Hearn when it comes to the rodeo.
He's a rodeo guy.
Yeah.
But this was an extension, Brian. Don't feel bad. Shaq Mason wasn't a free agent.
Oh, okay.
Mason Saunders. Yeah, Mason Saunders. You did ask about Mason Saunders, but
I
not
did.
Shaq
I
Mason.
did. Said his arm was dead.
Yeah, Mason Saunders is toast. Madison Bumgardner, but I do appreciate a good story about a pro athlete doing some rodeoing on the side. Former Raiders first-round pick Henry Ruggs going to do 3 to 10 years in prison after a judge accepted his plea deal for his DWI manslaughter that happened
Yeah, he's still a young guy
in
though,
Las
too.
Vegas
Yeah.
last year. 3 to 10 years. Not a short amount of time
No.
to be behind bars, but hopefully the story can have a good end to it. Redemption's possible in the future. West Virginia basketball coach Bob Huggins is going to have his salary reduced by $1 million and will continue on the job following the homophobic slur on a podcast. That was $1 million F word right there.
It's our buddy Ren Baker, who's the new AD over there. He was formerly at North Texas.
Well, Choppy was talking about how he had a pretty damn good recruiting class going down.
I mean, Bob Huggins.
They didn't want to botch the Huggins recruiting class.
Right. But, man, I was pretty sure that they were going to move on.
Did you hear also about the added sensitivity training that he was going to be swimming in as well?
Oh, F,
That's
why do I have
part
to
of it.
do that?
You're going to lose $1 million, and you're going to get some sensitivity training. But, dear God, we're not losing this recruiting class you got, Bob.
Yeah, way to go,
I'm going
Bob.
to send you to Xavier and make you apologize in front of everybody.
Yeah. I guess he's a great basketball coach. He's got, a lot of skins on the wall, but I don't know. To me, like if you want to make a statement, you're an institution of higher learning. Bucks running back coach Skip Pete.
You are a bleep hole, sir.
Yeah, you are, man. I can't believe that. Some of the things that fly out of your mouth.
Hold on here, Gavin. We do have Luka news.
Oh,
he looked good in the picture.
He did make his 4-time All-NBA.
Seamless transition.
First team?
Yeah.
Wow. The voters love them some Luka.
Yeah.
Did he look good in the picture? Did you see the picture?
Actually, it looks like a picture that was probably taken preseason.
You think
Because he
so?
looks great.
Well, he looks.
Is he in his Slovenia jersey
Well,
still?
and he's got the beard on. No, he's not in the Slovenia jersey. He's in a Mavs jersey, but the beard, I think, makes him.
No, he took a picture with some fan.
If you guys can name the other guard.
I'm looking at a different picture.
If you guys can name the other guard that is first team All NBA, I will say I'm impressed by you, basketball guy of the day.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
All right, Walchuk already cheated.
Nice.
And saw it.
I didn't know. I had not seen
cheated
that.
and saw it.
I had not seen that. I don't
But you know
know
anything about
Luka.
baseball? I ask you a Bumgardner question.
Dude, I don't know anything about baseball.
No,
Are you
seriously,
kidding me?
if you got that though, Walchuk, you can.
No,
be
I
basketball
really
guy of
get
the
that.
day.
I'd only seen the Luka.
Guy
news
went
'cause-
off, breakout year for anybody that wasn't paying that close attention to.
They were a
OKC.
tanking team.
What
Yeah.
an honor, dude.
Yeah.
That is.
He's a full-fledged superstar
You'd
now.
still think seniority. Maybe he'd get bumped down to second team.
Yeah, like still getting that nod is damn special.
Tatum, Embiid, Giannis. Those are your other four guys. I'm surprised Luka got in there.
Well, he's a first-team All-NBA player, and I'm sick and tired of you guys trying to run him out of town.
It was a great
It's
year.
Bassick. Bassick's trying to trade him.
Yeah, Basic's just scared.
Yeah, Bassick's scared.
Bassick feels like the girl's about to break up with him, and he's like, I don't like you anyway. Just go.
Yeah,
I know what you want to do.
Just leave.
He watches that kid play for the Knicks every night. He goes, "Oh, we're gonna get nothing for Luka."
Yeah.
Oh,
Bucks running back coach Skip Pete says he talked to Zeke, said wherever he lands, he'll need to adjust to not playing for $12 million. Says that's what I told him. You're going to play for $1 million. If you're going to be the second or third guy, that's what the price is. So there's a lot of speculation about Zeke and Skip reuniting in Tampa Bay, and the media went to Skip and asked him what he thought of that, and that was his thought. I just told Zeke that if you do want to continue your career, then you get ready for a pickup.
Skip's an honest guy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Skip's like, listen,
Shot
bro.
him straight, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did.
Okay, one of you two knuckleheads has the segment coming up next. Where you want to take it? Hodgepodge.
Should we tag team this?
Do you want an NBA? I mean, what are you feeling right now? We got some NFL news. We can just like sandwich all of it together.
Dude, let's just sandwich all of
hodgepodge
it
the hell out
together.
of this, and let's see
A
how much we can
hodgepodge.
give you in the next whatever bleeping minutes.
All right, that sounds great. We'll be back here in the G-Bag Nation 105.3 The Fan.
Be a part of the show.
safeties first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Shoot, yeah, ball. It is the G-Bag Nation on 105.3 The Fan. Hope you're having a great day. General at your service. There's Brian Broaddus. Thought we'd do this at least one time here the proper way. Lucius Alexander is in the Pimp Cup over there at Master Control. A good afternoon to you, sir. It's a rainy Wednesday afternoon here in the G-Bag Nation. Wolchuk and Chiafalo. Carter Freeman's coordinating your video, and along with you, we are the G-Bag Nation here on 105.3 The Fan. Thanks for enjoying a Rangers victory this afternoon. They beat the Mariners in a series in Seattle, and now they will go on to Oakland for a 4-gamer that starts tomorrow night right here on 105.3 The Fan. Here are Wolchuk and Chiafalo with that hodgepodge rim session. Take it away, gentlemen.
Hell yeah. Let's do it, baby. All right, we're going to slide into a rim sesh here in just a moment, but we've got some NFL schedule news, and I know tomorrow we're going to break this bad boy right around now. I think it's going to be released at 6 o'clock Central.
Oh, is it?
7 o'clock Eastern.
All right, I hope you're right. I've been hearing 7 o'clock, so I was just assuming 7 o'clock our
they
time.
usually say Eastern time when it's nationally, so that would be 7 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping. But
maybe we'll get some.
Brian's
some
usually on this thing, so
I'll
we're going to
try my
have
best.
some rumorooskies the
I'll try my
entire
best.
show.
Yeah, I'll try my best to get it taken care of.
But we got a couple of games already that have been unveiled, okay?
8 o'clock Eastern.
8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central?
7 o'clock
Gosh,
Centy.
dang it, these bleep holes. All right, so
I'll get it. I got a scheduled gang of 7.
Do you? Okay,
Didn't want to
perfect.
bring it up.
We'll
but
put
I'm
this
here
together.
for you.
No, I'm glad that you are, and you picked a good time to do it because I was at an all-time low, and now I've perked right back up.
Thanks for putting my guy at ease.
Good Lord. All right, so we got 5 international games. Are the Cowboys going to play internationally this year?
9.
Falcons, Jags,
No.
Week 4, Wembley Stadium, London. That's a no. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Week 5 in London. It's going to be the Jags, and nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, it's a good game.
It's a good one. 2 playoff teams, 2 good quarterbacks, Lawrence and Allen. Then we go to Week 6. Also, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, London, Ravens, Titans.
Pardon, hiccup.
Wow. Uh-oh. We need to get you a porcupine.
Then we go to Week 9.
Okay.
Frankfurt Stadium, Germany. Now, maybe the NFL wanted to put the Cowboys in the first German game. Not happening.
No,
Dolphins, Chiefs.
It was a German game last year, right? When
Was last year the first German game?
Yeah, Tampa Bay and
That's right, Tampa Bay, Seattle.
Yeah.
Yep, they played at Frankfurt Stadium, and it looked beautiful. I mean, the place was going absolutely crazy. That was the game afterwards. They stayed for like an hour. They wouldn't leave the stadium. That's right. But Dolphins, Chiefs in Germany, that's a fun one.
It's funny that Tyreek Hill's not getting his wish to go back to Arrowhead Stadium and
He was
stick it
talking
to those Chiefs.
so much bleep.
He's going to have to do that in, what'd you call it, Frankfurt Stadium?
Frankfurt Stadium in Germany.
Frankfurt?
Is it Frankfurt or Frankfurt?
Frankfurt.
I think it's
It's got a T at
with
the
a
end.
T at the end.
Yeah.
Furt.
Whatever, the German accent, however they want to put a slang on that.
We understand you have something against it.
No, I don't actually. And then we go Week 10, Colts at the Patriots. We just don't mention the war.
We
Brian.
don't mention the war.
No,
Yeah.
we don't.
No, we really
so
don't.
those are the international games. Cowboys not playing internationally. We go to the 3 top games that they've unveiled. MetLife Stadium, November 24th, Week 12. Dolphins and the Jets. Aaron Rodgers.
That's the Black Friday game.
Taking on the Jets. First ever Black Friday game.
There we go.
I mean, there's a lot of assuming Tua's going to stay healthy.
Yeah, I think that's going to quickly
Tom
turn
Brady.
into Aaron
What's the
Rodgers.
rest of their depth
versus-
chart
got
look?
Brady versus
Tyreek.
Rodgers.
It's going to be Brady versus Rodgers. It's going to be even better than what they're
Oh,
expecting.
that would be awesome. But I mean,
That
Jalen
is
Waddle,
great.
Tyreek Hill, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson,
Tom Brady.
Jalen Ramsey's a part of this thing now.
I like the idea of that game ending up as Zach Wilson versus whoever.
Mike White.
Yeah, Mike White. The
Mike White, the revenge game.
for
I
Mike
love
White
that.
versus the Jets.
One of the Christmas games has been released. It's going to be our division rival Giants taking on the Eagles in Philly.
You know, just to go back to that though, I think that's a pretty good sign in the direction that Brady is going to be available, and the NFL knows it.
Yep.
We're going to schedule Tua, air quotes on Tua, to play a game, a huge game, the first ever Black Friday game. That's 2 GOAT number 12s, except one's going to wear number 8.
Yeah.
That's Brady versus Rodgers. You nailed that, Broadus.
That would be amazing.
Thank you for that.
That would be something special.
I'm here for the hour. You know how it works.
We'd all be
Yeah, you're
partying
in your bag, bro.
on that Black Friday. We absolutely would be. Okay, and then we get to the final game. This is going to be Week 17 at Arrowhead. This was a favorite to maybe be your season opener, but it's not happening.
That's the Jets, Cowboys.
It's Bengals and the Chiefs. Now, we had
5.
the Cincinnati mayor, if you remember last year.
Oh, he talks a lot.
He talked a lot of bleep, and this is what the Cincinnati mayor, just to refresh your memory, had to say leading into that AFC Championship game a year ago with the Bengals going to Kansas City at Arrowhead to play the Chiefs.
Yeah, we're ready.
The Bengals play the Chiefs Week 17, and I've got nothing else to add.
And cut.
How was that?
Yeah, I think that was better than the last time.
Last time he was calling Joe Burrow Patrick Mahomes' daddy, and
That's right.
that they basically owned Arrowhead, and afterwards, of course, Travis Kelce calling him a jabroni.
Yep.
It's funny because that whole thing ended with Pat Mahomes' dad smoking on that Joe Burrow.
Smoking on that Joe Burrow.
It really came full circle.
But hey, the mayor kept it classy this time.
I'm
I thought it
surprised.
was funny. I thought it was
He's
good.
shaking in his boots.
It's the
That's
first
why he's a coward.
First
He's got
time-
a little Dylan Brooks in him.
I'm not used to classy things coming out of Cincinnati, Brian. I don't. Am I wrong on this? I mean,
the bow ties are pretty
Pete Rose, Marge Schott, Bob Huggins,
Tom Brenneman.
Like, there's just some.
There's a lot going on.
And Castellanos hits a long fly ball to right field.
You know you're onto something.
There's something weird going on with Cincinnati. You know, I've only been there a couple of
times.
times. Hell of a theme park there, or not a theme park.
Great
but
American
water park?
Cedar Point, I think. Cedar Point's like a roller coaster place. It's pretty great.
Like an
amusement park. Yeah, that's what I meant. Thank you. Theme park.
Theme park.
Would any of us here
No.
love a day at the
Fart.
roller coasters?
Fart.
I think we'd all say fart on that, right?
Oh, I'm, like motion
I'm
sickness.
out on that.
Yeah.
Lucius, are you oh my bad. I didn't know if we had a single person in the G-Bag Nation who would smile at the idea of a day at the roller coaster theme park.
Hell no.
No, Cedar Point was part water too. So I'd go on like the kid rides, you know, the ones that go around in a circle real fast, close to the ground. I'm up for those.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, those are like the teacups. That's inevitable puking for me.
That is
I'm gonna be like Donovan
Yeah.
McNabb in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In adulthood, the spinning rides are really bad. Like your brain's ability to handle the spinning gets horrible. Don't jump on one of those things in your 30s.
Okay, dude.
Rude awakening.
The one where you stick to the wall and the floor goes down.
you can't handle it.
Whoever
It would
invented
bring you
that,
to your knees for 2
No
hours at
shot,
this age.
bro.
None.
I can't even. So the amount of time that I spend at like a run of the mill like local playground park these days is pretty
Yeah, I
high.
bet.
You know, pretty high. I can't just swing on a run of the mill
that's not
swing
good.
without feeling like
The stomach goes a little
I'm
bit.
like, yeah, this is.
Wow.
I'm getting vertigo-y. Like I
Oh,
got to get
no.
off. Like
Wash.
you know how bad I want to. I'm like looking up into the heavens. Like God, do you know how bad I want to swing with my daughter right now? I physically can't even do
You
this.
just got to do it. You just got to figure it out.
I can't.
shame you?
I'm a Dramamine. Like I need Dramamine to do anything.
Well,
I
you
think.
saw me. I have to take Dramamine for us all to fly anywhere. I can't.
I'm headed
Yeah,
that
but
way.
I don't think
bro.
you're the only one. I think that's pretty normal. And yeah, 318, we're not roller coaster people here. I'm just happy I found 3 others that co-signed this with me. Usually people are making fun of me.
I'm not getting.
Now, I was a
over it.
beast on the swings as a kid. I'd jump off at the top.
See,
I'd
that
do
used to be
the
me
backwards
too.
flip out.
Oh hell
What?
no! I was.
You didn't do the backwards flip
No,
out?
I would have
flip
landed
out.
on
Yeah.
my head.
Yeah. When you get to the top, you just kick your legs over and you land back on your feet like a backflip exit off the swing. That's the 80s for you, boy.
I'm very impressed by that one, dude.
Yeah, we're daredevils
Are
out
you
there.
doing backflips off the diving board into the pool?
No, I could just do it on the swing.
It was
I could just do
only
it on
the swing.
Yeah,
That
it was
is
after
impressive.
years of being on that damn playground for like 2.5 hours
Good
a
for
day.
you.
Figured a lot of stuff out.
See, that right there is just like the doing it the first time where you've never practiced this before. How are we practicing? We don't have foam pits.
No.
So you're going for it, and the way that could end is like you end up on the 1,000 ways to die kind of show.
I saw my buddy Dallas Wittenborn do it, and I said, if he can do it, I can do it.
Same thing when you try and jump a bike over trash cans. and
Scarred,
stuff.
that MTV show. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it was just FOMO and trying to one up each other out there.
Gosh, that's bad. All right, so from Cincinnati bow ties to around the rim, shall we?
It's a terrible city.
Let's do this.
Yeah, we're cutting the lights out. We're putting the kids to bed. The G-Bag Nation is going all the way. 56 inches around the rim.
Let it
During
rain.
playoff time.
Bring it.
Rain dance.
Shout out to Luca.
I gotta join here, man. I've been saving for a special occasion.
It's always a special occasion when Philip Seymour Hoffman gets to.
I did just see this though, real quick, Brian. Holy crap!
Wait, are you about to throw a curveball into our rim sesh?
Padre Island. 2 fishermen reeled in a 1,000-pound great hammerhead shark.
There you go.
This thing is freaky looking.
Yeah. South Padre?
Yeah.
1,000 pounds of hammerhead shark. Do you go sharking?
Never have.
I've been larking.
You've been LARPing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I've always wanted Shane to. Larking.
Shane Larkin over here.
Unfortunately, the Mavs went Shane Larking at one point.
They sure did.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, let's pick this kid. Yeah, he's a good one. Yeah.
You know what's not unfortunate is our very own Luka Doncic, the Don himself. Despite maybe, some fair criticisms, he is a first-team All-NBA player for the 4th time.
Yep.
Well, Chuck, that's pretty special. That is pretty special. And as I refresh my page, at BR Betting is showing a $35,000 on the line from a $20 bet riding on the Lakers to win the finals. That just popped up right now.
Holy cow! What's the payoff?
That's a large payout that includes actually the Chiefs and Argentina. So it's a nice little parlay that could cash out or could return almost $36K. So somebody's feeling good, like Dawson and Broadus are right now about those Lakers. They play tonight. I feel good about this one, Wolchuk.
I feel great
I feel
about
like
it.
this game. I don't feel good about the series now, but I do feel good about this game. There's no way Golden State gets gentlemen swept on their home floor to end the dynasty.
Yeah, I don't feel quite as good about last night with the Stars winning, but I do feel close to as strong that they're going to get they're not going to lose. You're right. They're not going to lose at home. They're great at Oracle. It's fine. They're at least going to play a game 6. And we got the Corgi on our side.
Somebody's alleging that the invention of the hot dog happened in Cincinnati.
Yeah, Tim Collins is ripping me right now.
No, they're talking about Frankfurt. They were talking about the Frankfurter.
That was it. Oh, I thought they were.
Because I did say Frankfurt right. I got it right.
You
We're
did?
Good. Yeah,
it's a hard T, right? It's a hard T?
It's a hard T there.
Okay, this is going to be hard to stomach for some people.
Hurdy.
And it would be hard to stomach for me if this thing came to fruition and he was the head man of my team. Not yet, not now.
What is it?
Not down here. Down here's not his time.
No, our time.
JJ Redick reportedly interviewing for
Toronto, huh?
The Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, there you go.
Head coaching job.
This could have Steve Kerr-like vibes. People were thinking Steve Kerr, what the hell hires that? You're taking him from the TNT booth. You're putting him as a head coach.
Has Steve Nash vibes too.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's very risky. Steve's. It's very risky to hire a guy with virtually no experience.
But maybe you get lucky here, and this is Toronto.
And at least Kerr had some aged wisdom on him, right? It wasn't like he was
a young guy.
He's been with some guys.
He had done like his career was long, and I know JJ Redick's is pretty long as well. I mean, I think we'd be surprised if we found out how many years. 15 years. JJ Redick spent in the league, so that's big time. But wasn't Steve Kerr like 50 or something when he got the Golden State job? And hadn't he done some other coaching?
He'd been an executive.
Things.
He'd been an executive for 6 years
Suns?
with the Suns.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A broadcaster and commentator for 2 years after his playing career. Multi-time champion.
We're not talking Bob Huggins level skins on the wall, but we're talking about skins on the wall.
Yeah. Players are mostly coaches in the NBA, and I think usually the path is to be an assistant first, but some guys are convincing enough.
So would you guys react with excitement if your team hired JJ Redick?
Now? I pretty much feel the same as I did when the Mavs hired Jason Kidd, like a little bit indifferent. I don't know if this is going to work.
I like JJ Redick a lot. I enjoy his analysis, like really solid career. I certainly think he could be a coach, but going from I've been doing a podcast for a year and now I'm the head coach of the Toronto Raptors.
It's bizarre, but we are seeing a lot more of these former players get chances like this.
I think it's an inexperienced front office or owner move to hire a guy who's got hot takes on TV. Whether it's Gruden or Mayock, like you take a guy off of TV who's out there hot taking. You're like, wow, I like this guy's attitude. It's like, those aren't the skills that you need to communicate with people and come up with great game plans and adjustments. So, it would make me nervous as a fan of the Toronto Raptors. I'm like, oh boy, we're going to regret this and need a new coach in about 2-3 years.
Man, how just freaking torqued was Micah Parsons last night that his guy, Maxey, and the Sixers went and got that dub.
Sure, he put that jersey right back on.
Oh, dude, I bet he hasn't taken it off.
Well, we know he took it off because he was beating Jamar Chase and Deuce Vaughn and drills.
I guess, was it on Instagram Live? Do we know when we saw the video it was the day it happened? Just saying.
Oh, it was after.
Just saying.
We do.
He went from Philadelphia.
What is up with you and hating on Micah?
I'm not hating on Micah. I'm congratulating him. I'm just acknowledging that he's probably excited last night that his favorite team, his favorite city, and his favorite guy went and dropped 30 in Boston and got a victory that nobody was expecting them to get.
Stunned.
Yeah. They
both
in
dominant
for
fashion.
their city. They
Absolutely stunned.
Yeah.
And then Jokic went and got it done as well.
Yeah.
He's breaking
wall to wall pretty much. And the cool thing in that game before he goes over to the owner and gives him a high five, and
I know you're still
they
a
have
fan,
a fun
but-
moment. I think it had to be the player. That the player has to go over and be like, hey, let's have fun, or my bad, or whatever. And it was good to see that they could make that water under the bridge so quick.
Who would you? What's the big man that you guys trust the most? Not like who you'd want on your team because you'd there's more to it, but for a series, because this is the battle of the big men at this point. Anthony Davis is still alive. Embiid, Jokic.
What am I trusting? That he's going to stay healthy, or we're going to win?
That you get to pick one guy to be your big man for a 7-game championship series for the finals, because it's going to be some level of those, two of those guys.
It terrifies me that Jokic is supposed to be the best, but he has a great supporting cast and hasn't even got to the finals yet.
Right.
Give me health, I'm taking Anthony Davis. That's the guy that's proven he can dominate no matter what the situation is.
Anthony Davis ain't getting hurt the rest of the way. He sees what's ahead.
Don't jinx us, Krusty. We need him tonight.
I can't wait to mark that.
Yeah, he sees what's ahead.
That's not something you should ever say with confidence, man.
No, I'm saying with confidence. Some of
He's
these
saying it with his
guys,
chest.
Some of these guys do when they see the prize ahead. You can't run them with a truck. They'll be just fine. I think that this is one of those cases. Davis, regular season, nah.
Eye of the tiger. Makes him injury proof.
Not so interested.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Wolchuk and Shia follow. Wolchuk, did we take you off in your portion of that segment?
No, this was, you guys did a good job.
Did we take it seriously
Thank
enough?
goodness. Yeah, I mean, you always are a little bit iffy, but overall performance was solid.
You're okay with what we had going on?
I mean, you didn't talk much, so I appreciated that.
You can hang with Corey Majors and Bobby Belt this Friday at Jake's Game Day in McKinney, 5 to 8, El Dorado Parkway. They're going to be watching the games and hanging out at Jake's Game Day, 5 to 8, El Dorado Parkway. Jake's Game Day is the move.
It is.
Okay.
The move.
They tell me.
Yeah. Hey, when we come back, we're going to be cross-talking with the Get
Already?
Right. Yeah, that's right. And you got your standard official configuration, Reggie and KG. And we'll find out what they have cooking for you tonight next in the G-Bag Nation.
But it's time you fall in love with the great folks at Southern Leisure Spas the same way I have. 3 DFW.
Head to eBay Motors and look for the green check. Stay in the game with eBay Guaranteed Fit. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year. Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer. Is this for real?
Apparently. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Hey, Tolos, RJ Choppy here for the best Ford dealership on the east side of the Metroplex. In Terrell, it's Platinum Ford. Owner Stephen Gilchrist, GM Adam Vinci. They're both Tolos, taking care of the Tolos each and every day when it comes to the purchase of your brand new Ford truck or SUV. Adam's got everything from Super Duties on the ground to full-size Broncos, Raptor F-150s, the all-new Ford Lightning. All you need to do is get over to Terrell to see him right between I-20 and Highway 80. You can start the process online at PlatinumFord.com and drive a little further to save a lot more at Platinum Ford.
This segment of The Fan is brought to you by Southern Leisure Spas.
Southern Leisure's Battle of the Brands Hot Tub Expo now through May 29th. Up to $2,500 rebates, their lowest prices on Bullfrog Spas, Marquee Spas, and Nordic Hot Tubs. 0% APR financing with no money down. Over 80 models to choose from. Visit SouthernLeisureSpas.com.
It's party time, Tolos. Join me and Bobby Belt this Friday from 5 to 8 at Jake's Game Day in McKinney. Enjoy the Jake's Classic Taste while we watch the best team in baseball. And that night, Jake's Game Day will donate 20% of all dinner sales to the Allen cause. Jake's Game Day, 5 to 8, 4150 Eldorado Parkway in McKinney. Jake's Game Day is the move.
Yes, sir. Welcome back, Nation. Thanks for making us part of your day here in this abridged G-Bag Nation following a Rangers victory, a series victory. The Get Right coming up now. Reggie and KG, gentlemen, good evening. How we doing?
Yo. What's up, General?
Well, you know, times are good.
Hard day at work, huh?
Stars win, Rangers good, work for an hour. It's a long one. What else is there in life, man? This is great. What's coming up on the show tonight?
Tyler Batiste of The Athletic, covering the NBA, is going to join us at 8:20 tonight. And what would you do if the Mavericks were presented with this scenario on Tuesday?
Tyler, an LSU guy.
LSU guy, absolutely.
LSU guy. Where Tyler moved to, from Pittsburgh to where?
Locally.
He moved back to Dallas?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. All right, good for him. Welcome, Tyler, if you're listening.
We're doing that scenario at 8:40.
8:40.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 8:40.
I gotta definitely set a reminder for that.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Mike Tyson, what Mike Tyson's Punch-Out character did you struggle the most with on the original Nintendo?
Not gonna lie, I only played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out relatively recently. I'm talking like 2 or 3 years ago.
Cool.
And I don't think I played it long enough to like ingrain those characters in my head. So like I'll know them when you say them, but they don't necessarily jump to mind.
Did
like
you get
E
pretty
Honda,
far?
one of them, right?
Yeah, Piston Honda.
Honda.
He was tough the second time around.
Okay.
Piston Honda would tune you up the second time around. He'd been putting in some work in the gym, got himself a belt, and added some skills.
Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe.
Neither one of those. You weren't an original Nintendo guy, were you, KG?
No, I was Super Nintendo guy.
Love me some Super.
Yeah, Super
You feel bad about asking this question now?
King Griffey Jr.'s winning
Just
run
old.
was one of the best games ever played.
What are the
Super
characters?
Nintendo.
What are the characters? I never played.
I thought KG might be old like me.
Because he's 30.
What? Relax.
What?
Relax.
He's not old like
He's
me.
what?
He's clearly a
36.
generation down.
I love when you do that.
You know, you got
No, wait a minute. How old are you then?
Brian
Don
Westbrook
Flamingo, trash.
Oh, really?
Don Flamingo?
Yeah, Glass Joe.
Oh, Glass
Well, Glass Joe, that one was obvious.
Yeah, he sounds like a long good one.
Bald Bull was a problem. You know?
Bald Bull.
In the arcades, in the grocery store, I only beat him twice. Only beat him twice.
Oh, struggling there.
Grocery store.
He would drop all the way back to the turnbuckle and then charge you and throw a big uppercut. And it was really difficult to time.
Was it the same kind of? Did they use the same technique all the time, or was there a little bit?
They
of
all
mix?
had different cues
like
that
there
would
was
let
a
you know.
spin around.
Yeah,
spin
there was
around.
always like
Yeah.
a there's always
Tornado
like a little
blink of the eye or twitch.
there was a little tell that you had to
Yeah.
figure out, and then once you figured it out, then you could beat them probably, right? Like that was basically what it was.
Absolutely, yeah. There was a pattern, and Mike Tyson's pattern was just crazy. You know, to try to learn it and figure it out, and after you did, you could take him out pretty easy. Soda Popinski, no doubt, says the 956. Appreciate your participation. Okay, which team down 3-1 is going to extend the series tonight? Which is most likely to be toast in the association?
I think the Knicks are ready to be put out of their misery tonight by Jimmy Butler, because you got Julius Randle questioning whether or not they want it anymore after Game 4. And I think we're going to get another game in Lakers-Warriors.
Just one more?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
look, man, Steph was so damn good except for the final, 30 seconds of the game where,
0 for 13 on them shots.
Anthony Davis went, full
12.
Kevin Love.
Show him respect.
Yeah.
12.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I think it goes to 0 for 17 in the last 52 seconds. What do you guys make of that? Just sample size with Curry?
I mean, I think we build in our minds like these
That he doesn't miss.
these stories of clutch.
Yeah.
And like the notion of clutch is always very warped in our minds. If you go and look at like what those clutch numbers actually are, a lot of the players that you think of as incredible are probably shooting anywhere from like 40 to 30%. And you're like, oh man, I thought that guy never missed. And you just don't remember the ones that they missed.
And who statistically is the best in clutch time in those moments?
Who's
Actually,
that?
it's the 38-year-old playing for the Lakers.
What's his name?
Who is thought of to be not clutch.
Exactly. That would be one LeBron James.
Narratives, they're fun, aren't they? But yes, I'm here with the idea that the Warriors are the team down 3-1, more likely to keep this thing going.
What is your narrative to this fact that the text just put in? Only one American on the All-NBA first team. Wow. Is that crazy?
Shout out to the global game that is the NBA. This is what the NBA has been building for the last. Actually,
30.
let's take it all the way to 92.
You can go back further than that.
Yeah, I mean, you can take it back there, but I mean,
at least 30.
Yeah, the 92 Olympic team really brought the game internationally to where Jordan and all those guys were there. And next, the Tony Kukocs of the world and everybody else, Drazen Petrovic and all these guys, start. I know, right? So
Do you think
good.
it could ever
So
look
good.
like a Premier League team where the majority of rosters, other than like the Spurs, is international?
I
because
mean,
they have the superstars. They're not populating the entire roster.
I could see it. I mean, one thing that I remember about basketball is like it's not a wildly high barrier for entry when it comes to cost and like ability to play the game. So like as the NBA continues to try and like widen this out, I could possibly see that happening. But the one thing that you can always point to is like the way that the game is subsidized here.
Yeah.
And in America, there's always going to be, and it's one of the reasons why the sports that we do have that are major here remain major. Football is subsidized, right? Like all through high schools and everything. We have our government agency, in this instance being schools, paying for kids to be able to get into this. Basketball is subsidized somewhat as well. So like I do think that will remain really big here. But when it comes to like the high level where there's really a small percentage of our world playing this game, like at that highest level in the NBA, you're going to see filtered in. Like right now, we've actually got a really interesting class of French dudes behind Wembanyama that people expect to come through and be really great in the league. It's cool. It's part of what KG's talking about. This is a long lineage of like 30 years of really interesting development of overseas basketball.
Okay, and then my final question for you guys before we let you go into the night. Is DiNucci an actual NFL prospect now? Are you buying this? He's going to Denver. Camp arm or legit prospect?
Camp arm.
Camp arm?
Yeah.
Led the XFL in touchdown throws.
Camp arm.
Yeah.
I
know how this is going to go.
I also find it hard to believe that like teams are going to change the way that they view that dude, or like any dude once they kind of make it out of or find their way out of the league. His upside in my perspective is just becoming like a dude that is a backup, kind of career backup somewhere if he can latch on. And I hope that for him because I have no reason to hate him.
Make that money as a backup.
Stay in the huddle, guys. Stay in the huddle.
No reason to hate him, but maybe he's got a better chance catching on with the Mariners with that 3-quarter release. What do you say, Brian?
I tell you, that is something that the Mariners are looking at right now.
We got to run. Thanks to Lucius Alexander, the Pimp Cup over there, Master Control for Wolchuk and Chiafalo and Broadus. Here comes the Get Right. Until tomorrow at 2. Full show tomorrow. You're going home with the nation at ease.
Hey, Tolos, Eric Chiafalo here with you back
covered
Nation.
Stars
Nothing
fans
beats
with
having
exclusive
clean
Kevin Gray, Reginald Atatula, Rigo Mendoza holding it down for you on your Turn It On, Leave It On station. Appreciate you joining us on Odyssey and the Odyssey app. The truckwreck.com text line 877-881-1053. 877-881-1053 if you want to get in on the conversation. Full 4 hours with you tonight. A lot to get to. NBA playoff action already underway between the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks. Lakers, Warriors later on tonight. Can LeBron and company close out the Warriors, or will the Warriors stave off elimination for one night before they go back to Los Angeles? Tyler Batiste of The Athletic, he joins us at 8:20 talking all things NBA. At Kevin Gray Sports, at Reg Atatula on Twitter if you want to get at us there. Got a lot to have fun with tonight as busy night. Busy day so far. Rangers get the win over the Seattle Mariners. They take 2 of 3 from the Mariners on the road.
Win a series, remain first place. Sounds like a great day to me. I mean, I guess I can't technically say it's a good day under Jared Sandler parlance because the Astros managed to finish out their game against the Angels today. But don't worry about that. Rangers still in first place. No need to worry about teams that are below you. Well, another fantastic outing from Dane Dunning, who's made its way back into the starting rotation from the bullpen. What a fantastic arm he's had for this team, right? Like, because we talked about the rotation, and we started. I mean, really, since the signings of the guys that you brought in, you talk about, Jacob deGrom, you talk about Evaldi. We've had a lot of conversations about what happens if and or when, injuries happen. And Dane Dunning being able to, stretch out a little bit and become a starting pitcher again with the form that he's had has been so helpful, so useful for this team, especially when you go up against a Seattle Mariners team that has been good, very good this season, and he can have a very dominant performance.
After a Marcus Semien home run in the top of the third, tied it at 1, Nathaniel Lowe gave the Rangers a lead that they would not relinquish for the rest of the day.
Castillo set with that light-colored glove of the belt. Full count, nobody out. Grossman goes again, the 3-2. Lowe hammers one up the alley in left center field. That's trouble. Grossman on the move, wound second. He's heading to third. Lowe up to second with a double. They're sending Grossman home. The relay throw is cut off. Robbie Grossman scores standing up. And on the 11th pitch of the at-bat, Nathaniel Lowe with an RBI double. And the Rangers' lead is 2-1.
Jared Sandler on the call on the Louisiana Hot Sauce Rangers radio network. Nathaniel Lowe's double to center field scores Robbie Grossman. That gave the Rangers a 2-1 lead, as I mentioned, that they would not relinquish. Dane Dunning, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts on the day, gets the win 4-3 for the Rangers. 22-14 now in the AL West. First place in the AL West are your Texas Rangers. Marcus Semien, 2 for 5 on the day. He had a home run, 2 RBI, scored a run as well. Dane Dunning now 3-0 on the year, 1.72 ERA.
You love to see it
for the
really
Rangers. Mr. Smith getting the save for your Rangers as well. 4 runs on 13 hits for your Texas Rangers. Again, being able to get a road win, a road series win as well. Good guys playing some good baseball right now.
Hey, man, what did we talk about in the midst of the terrible, no good, very bad series against the Cincinnati Reds? Like, oh, man, here comes, a real test of a run for your Rangers coming up. And, obviously the roller coaster that is the marathon of a MLB season. We were looking at it and we're like, oh, man, I don't know how they're going to do. 3 wins off of the Yankees. That you split with the Diamondbacks, you win the series against the Angels, you win the series against the Mariners before you had to play Oakland, right? Like they have handled this incredibly well. And when you talk about a measuring stick type of run in the season, they've really answered the call in the midst of missing their 2 best bats, in the midst of your ace going down. Like, you have done incredibly, and this is still early on in the season where I'm sure Bruce Bochy's still in some ways figuring out the handle that he wants to have on this team in the midst of having some, the bullpen, the issues with the construction of your bullpen rearing their ugly heads in some ways. Like, this is fascinating and fantastic, and I really do wonder. Text in on the truckwreck.com text line, 877-881-1053. what are your aspirations for where the Rangers can go, and is it different than where you start in the season? Again, I understand we are 36 games into 162. Kind of wild to start doing this, but for me personally, I have started trying to maybe not already adjust my expectations, but I'm already starting to take stock of, are we looking at something that is a little bit bigger than even what I anticipated early, with the optimistic eyes or, glasses that anybody looks at a season with when you're coming in. But you look at the vulnerability that the Astros have shown when you talk about they lost Verlander. They still had a lot of great starting pitchers, but they've had injuries and they've had a few dudes maybe not show up in the ways that they needed to. Plus, they also have had injuries in the field. Altuve still hasn't played. I believe Michael Brantley is still out of, like they have some things where they are vulnerable. You look around, this team just beat up on the Mariners in some ways, right? Like you look around and they are sitting in first place. And again, a lot of season left to go, but is this a team that you view as not even just having a possibility to contend for a wild card, but maybe even really having a chance at playing for that AL West title?
Well, here's what's interesting. As we mentioned, the Rangers now 22-14. They've got arguably their hottest pitcher coming to the mound tomorrow when they take on the Oakland A's, where they begin a 4-game series with them. Nathan Eovaldi going to be on the mound for the Texas Rangers. They got a chance to run it up here. We know how bad the A's are at this point. If you can find yourself taking 3 of 4 on the road against Oakland, now you get to come home for a 3-game series starting on Monday, where you welcome in the Atlanta Braves, who are boat racing the NL East right now. That, to me, is a series that you look at and say, okay, you want to talk about measuring stick. One of the best teams in all of baseball, and the Atlanta Braves get to come to Globe Life Field. You can really see how your baseball team stacks up against one of the best teams in all of baseball. So we talked about it a couple weeks ago. This team has my attention. They still have my attention, but now you're starting to feel like, well, maybe they can put it together a little bit, and you've got a chance to really make things difficult for the AL West, at least early on in this portion of the season, if you handle business on the road against the Oakland Athletics before you take on the Atlanta Braves for a 3-game series, and then you get the Colorado Rockies coming in for a 3-game series starting next Friday. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they are going to be able to do from the 817. I want to see how we compete against the Braves. Yeah, the Braves have been really good this year.
Shout out to our friend Rachel from the 972, said she had faith and continues to have faith that they would outperform expectations, and right now they're getting it done. Now, the two questions that I believe I have were brought up pretty quickly on the truckwreck.com text line, and I really appreciate these questions from the 214. Barring any catastrophic injuries mid and late season, they say ALCS. I love that optimism. Keep that as long as you can keep it. But yes, the injury problem, or like maybe not problem, but concerns for injuries, always there, right? You're in a place where
Seager's still out right now.
Seager's still out. Mitch Garver's still out.
Yep.
And then of course Jacob deGrom is on a 15-day IL, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And this, I don't know how much concern I actually have for DeGrom at this instance, because I do think that if he returns and is mostly healthy throughout the rest of the season, I understand how naive that can sound, but please rock with me.
I mean, Bochy said it's going to be at least 2 to 3 more weeks before we see Jacob deGrom back. So we're talking about possibly, early June when we see him back on the mound for the Rangers.
But if this doesn't end up being like, one of 3, in one of those types of situations, we could still see where this is a really productive season for him. The other one, and I think this is a really good one from the 940, is the absolutely dominant run production sustainable? That is the question, right? Because you have had the really good pitching that you've had paired with incredible offensive production in the face of missing, as we mentioned earlier, Mitch Garver, Corey Seager. The Ezekiel Durans of the world. Obviously, Josh Young has done a lot in trying to carry some of, the weight here. And I can just go on and on naming guys, but we've seen a lot of guys step up. I mean, Jankowski at one point. Like, these are guys that we were looking at, and I don't know if anybody was super excited about that being on the roster. And those guys are coming up to the plate and really producing in a way that I don't know that anybody thought possible. I mean, even Jonah Heim, who was borderline all-star last season.
Spectacular so far
He
this
started
year.
off so incredible, and I don't think that it's like some of this is like anomalous type, play, even though I think he's doing incredible. How much can you expect that to sustain over 162? So like, where is the normalization for this offense? Because I don't think the pitching is anomalous, right? I think that the pitching can be what this is. Where does the runs, the run production normalize to? And then once that gets there, what does that pairing look like against the average team or against the good teams? That's what I'm looking for to then maybe be able to determine, how far this team can go when it comes to AL contention, AL West contention, and then maybe even possibly beyond.
Yeah, because you don't want to continue to put this offense in positions where they're going to have to score 6, 7, 8 runs a game to protect that bullpen that hasn't been good so far this year to keep this team in games. So the Rangers, as I mentioned, 7-3 in their last 10. They take 2 or 3 from Seattle. They're on the road still when they take on Oakland. You take 3 or 4 there before you come home and take on the Atlanta Braves. That's going to be a hell of a series between the Rangers and the Atlanta Braves at Globe Life Field. Again, the Rangers are second in the AL right now in run differential. So scoring a bunch of runs, winning a bunch of ball games.
Love the donk ball.
Yeah.
Thanks, CA.
That's right, CA. That's right. Speaking of winning, Stars.
Let's talk about it.
Last night, they get to win cut number 6. Shout out to Jamie Benn on the power play getting it done last night.
They had 2 shots on their first opportunity. Hintz to Benn, toe drag, wrist shot, score! Jamie Benn snaps one home on the fly on the power play. Dallas has the early lead.
ESPN on the call last night. Your Stars even up the series at 2 games apiece as they take game 4 on the road over the Seattle Kraken. Shout out to Jake Ottinger bouncing back in game number 4. Stars win 6-3 as the series comes back to the American Airlines Center for game number 5, as the Stars at one point were up 5-1 in this game against Seattle.
Yeah, Ottinger, obviously, there's been a lot of talk about how he bounces back after losses, especially like poor performances for him. And he was really good. I don't know if I'm just prone to like negative thinking, but like when those last couple of goals that were given up, once this game was pretty much salted away, I don't know, they kind of got me in a place where it's like, oh, is this completely fixed? But obviously it's a different type of game, right? Playing with, that kind of lead. Fascinating stuff from the captain, right? Like Jamie Benn, not only getting the goal that you played there, but also like being a little bit in the way to the point of like a discussion of interference, goalie interference, to help facilitate another. Like I've loved the way that this whole team has come together. The line adjustments that have been made by Peter Boer. All of this to say, I do all of that praising to then bring this back around to I would very much love if Jason Robertson could please step up to the podium here soon. Like I'm getting really nervous because
we're still waiting.
I don't know about you. Like I've looked at the odds of this and like the Stars remain kind of like 3rd, 4th when it comes to like odds to win, hoist Lord Stanley's Cup. And I think that goes up if you have Jace Robertson playing well, right? Like, and that's not even something that is like amazing to say. Hey, one of your best players, if not your best player, should probably be playing well if you want to win the championship. Yeah, duh, right? But we need to start seeing it because this is not the Jason Robertson that we saw in the regular season, and it's very frustrating. Whether it's power play, whether it's 5-on-5 full strength, like It boggles the mind to think that you will be able to win the whole thing without his production, and it's been sorely missed. Obviously, you've been able to find great stuff from the likes of Ruben Hintz, Johnston, Dadonov, Max Domi, and in fact had a fantastic goal. Like a lot of guys contributing, but like when you have a guy of that magnitude, it would really behoove him to like step up to the plate, to then make all of that other production even more fruitful as you go further along in this playoff race.
And I think you said the key for me, you cannot ultimately get where you want to go unless Jason Robertson comes along with you. I mean, it's been great to see Pavelski and the way that he's turned things around since the concussion that he suffered, scoring a bunch of goals. You've got a bounce back performance from Jake Ottinger in game 4 to allow you an opportunity to get back home ice and now come back to the American Airlines Center with a chance to take a 3-2 lead. But Robertson has got to come along to be able to help this team be able to get ultimately where they want to go, and that's continuing to go deep into these Western Conference playoffs in the NHL.
Also very obvious, but like, oh, okay, I see what y'all was talking about, this Miro thing, right? Like when Miro gets hit in the face with a puck and misses a significant amount of the game.
Yeah, that kind of
we saw the way that the defense fell off a cliff, and I was like, I don't fully understand. And then he comes back, and I'm like, okay, now that I'm looking for it, I see the ways that like Ottinger feels more comfortable, the ways that the defense kind of solidifies. The effect of Miro Heiskanen is evident when he's on the ice defensively for this team. So shout out to Miro Heiskanen.
Here you go, 817, because you wanted to see or you wanted to hear some Rupe Hintz. Well, here you go. Rupe Hintz was doing his thing last night, too.
Chips it to the goal line. A minute to go in the second. Alexiak, stick lift by Hintz. Off to Ben, wrist shot, save, the rebound, score! Rupe Hintz, his stick lift created the turnover, and his hustle goal gets the 4-goal lead back for Dallas.
That made it 5-1. So Rupe Hintz getting into the act last night as well. Stars get the win 6-3 in game number 4. Game number 5 will be tomorrow night at the American Airlines Center. How about this? At 8:30.
Make sure, see if you can get a nap in the middle of the day.
Oh, man.
Make sure, maybe get some coffee. Have
Find you that
around.
young energy drink. Late start time.
Something like that. Make sure in the intermissions, get up, go for a little walk.
That's right.
You got 10 minutes.
That's right.
Keep yourself energized.
That's right.
Also, real quick, as we've gone pretty much around the Metroplex in some of these sports, shout out to FC Dallas, who takes on Nashville SC, in the Open Cup, U.S. Open Cup tonight.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of DFW sports dominance happening, and hopefully FC Dallas can continue that as well.
It's the Get Right with Reggie KG right here on 105.3 The Fan. Speaking of dominance, the Lakers up 3-1 have a chance to close out the Golden State Warriors, or will Stephen Curry and company stave off elimination for at least one night? Lakers Warriors will get you ready for that game and get you caught up on the Hickson. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks and the Heat.
That's what you said the first time.
Next on the Get Right.
The latest from the Star in Frisco, as well as inside information from around the league. It's DFW's Top Football Podcast.
free. Their lowest prices on Bullfrog Spas, Marquee Spas, and Nordic Hot Tubs. Payments as low as $155 per month and 0% APR financing with no money down. Southern Leisure is a local family-owned business with 3 showrooms across DFW. Don't miss DFW's biggest hot tub sale of the year. Visit southernleisurespas.com. That's southernleisurespas.com.
This segment of The Fan is brought to you by Frankel & Frankel. Life is unpredictable. Accidents happen. Frankel & Frankel are the go-to attorneys for car and truck wrecks in DFW. If you or a loved one have been in an accident, contact Frankel & Frankel for a free consultation at truckwreck.com or call 214 or 817-333-3333.
The Heat and the Knicks playing in game number 5.
Well done.
Thank you. As the Lakers and the Warriors play a little bit later on tonight. Who can stave off elimination will get you ready for the NBA playoffs.
That's the word of the day.
That's right. Later on tonight. It's the Get Right with Reggie KG on 105.3 The Fan. Kevin Gray, Reginald Atatula. Rigo Mendoza holding it down for you here. Got a lot to get to in the NBA playoffs because the Knicks and the Heat already underway at Madison Square Garden as the Heat up 3-1 looking to finish off Jalen Brunson and company before they might get the Mavericks, first round pick. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. At Kevin Gray Sports, at Reg Attitude if you want to get at us on Twitter. All NBA teams were announced as well. We'll let you know who made first, second, and third team All NBA.
Luka made first team. Look, people don't have to wait for that one. Luka's the first team All NBA. We'll talk about the rest later.
Yes, we will.
No, I know it's a tease. I get it, but no need to wait on that one.
Jeez, just spoil them. It's all right.
They gonna stay anyway. It's to get right.
They are.
Hang with us.
That's right. Number 1 night show. I heard at one point. I heard about that.
I mean, we're live and local. I don't know where else you gonna find us in Dallas. Live and local sports talk in Dallas
only.
And the nights. I mean, you better tap in.
Park it right here.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/DallasFanCam and on YouTube at 105 through the fan on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button while you are there for the 682. Reggie, why don't you correct your man off the mic? Laugh out loud. It's pronounced rope, not rupe.
Well, first of all, I don't know if I had any room to correct KG because sometimes I'd be saying rupe. And again, actually, let me take this opportunity with the platform that we have. Mr. Rope Hintz, I apologize for sometimes calling you rupe.
Same.
I mean no disrespect. And one thing I can tell you, I can't fix the times that I said rupe, but I will do my best, do my damnedest to be better and call you rope.
Rope Hintz.
Yeah, there we go.
Goal last night for the Stars. Stars tied at 2-2. Game 5 tomorrow.
Also, points leader for the team in these playoffs.
He has been very, very,
very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Shout out to the 8:30 start time tomorrow.
Look, I'm fine, but I feel for all y'all that be having to wake up earlier.
So here's the thing: as we talk about tonight's playoff game, we're gonna work backwards because Knicks and the Heat already underway. We're gonna get you ready for Lakers Warriors. Here's the thing: I have picked one series in these NBA playoffs for each round that I've locked in on.
Oh, and then you just been like, I'll catch up on the rest?
I'll catch up on the rest.
That's a very realistic way of going about this.
Yeah.
I know that I'm not going to be able to get all of these done. So instead of doing everything half-ass, I'm going to do this one series, whole ass.
That's right.
Full ass.
Yep. You know what to do. Wow. You mark all of that. You make sure you wrap that up in a pretty bow. Thank you. But yeah,
one whole last segment or series.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The first one in the first round for me was the Knicks and the Cavaliers.
Yeah, you sure were locked in
on
Knicks.
that one.
Oof.
I was fascinated by the Knicks and the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers who got Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland. What could they do against Jalen Brunson and the Knicks? And Jalen Brunson's like, well, I got this. And they won that first round series. The second round, though, I said the series I'm locking in on. Lakers, Warriors. This might be the final time we get Steph and LeBron facing each other in the NBA playoffs. That's right, 972. I'm 36. That's right. Look, and here's the reason why I picked that one too, because it's late. So I know if I really want to watch this, I got to keep myself, up and having the energy.
Yeah. Do you have any tips or tricks for folks? How do you keep yourself awake? Mr. Father with a full-time job?
Well, you do a 4-hour radio show, and then you go home, catch you that, young Celsius or whatever it is that you need to get to, to be able to stay up to watch the rest of the game. Or if you are able to get home before the game starts, get that dinner in, maybe wait an hour, get that young energy drink going. Good to go for the next, 3-4 hours because I got to watch a little bit of Inside the NBA afterwards.
Oh yeah, because you got to know what the talking points are.
Exactly.
Can you give any of these tips to LeBron James? Because one thing I have noticed,
he need them.
Look, some of that I hear, but some of the one thing, well, not the one thing, but one of the things that I've noticed in this is this is not the LeBron James that we've gotten used to. He could dial it up from time to time, but there's a lot of energy saving. There's a lot of just not looking like the formerly otherworldly player that he was, and that is not shade because he's still very, very good at basketball. But it is very evident that this thing is built entirely on the excellence of Anthony Davis and then what your role players then bring to the table. Obviously, LeBron James has the role that he plays with the knowledge that he has, right? Like breaking up that hammer play that the Warriors threw out there at the very end of the game.
Knew it was coming.
LeBron James is like, I've seen this one before. I know how to stop this one. But when it comes down to the talent, their capabilities, man, Anthony Davis has been so huge, massive in this series.
And who knew that a former San Antonio Spur who lost his spot in the rotation at the beginning of the year, sparingly played throughout the course of the year, really hadn't played much in these playoffs, would show up in the fourth quarter and do what he had to do. Lonnie Walker IV with 15 big points in the fourth quarter, now having the Lakers on the brink of eliminating a Golden State Warrior team that had a double-digit lead in Game 4. Lakers, though, locked down defensively as the night went on in the fourth quarter. And now going into tonight's game, Warriors are going to need a vintage performance from Stephen Curry, who had a monster triple-double in Game 4.
Well, no. I actually disagree.
No, his passing was incredible.
They're not going to need a vintage performance from Steph Curry. They're going to need a vintage performance from Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole, if you can call any of that vintage. And
did you hear the report after the game about
Andrew
that?
Wiggins.
Yeah.
Right. The thing about this Warriors team is that everything looks so hard, which is in some respects a credit to the Lakers and their defense, but in some aspects is also a very clear indication of just how much this thing is built around Steph and Steph alone and how much the other parts are failing him. Because Steph is out here doing this solo dolo. And yes, 940, I think Bron is dealing with an injury as well, but he's also older. And I give room for both of those things to exist. And I guess I was not trying to shade him and talking about the ways that he's different, just trying to point to it. But yes, Steph Curry, still incredible. But this is the most that he has had to singularly carry a team, I think, ever in his career. He's out here looking like Davidson Steph again. And that's like all of...
At 35 years old.
I mean that in all of the ways possible, including that these other dudes are not on his level.
Yeah.
And that is kind of tough in the ways that, you talk about the Warriors as a dynasty. I know Steve Kerr says that he does not view this as a last dance type situation, but I do. Well, I'm looking around and I'm like, hey man, if it's not the last dance for Steph, which I do not think it is.
It might be for Draymond.
It definitely feels like it. Klay Thompson, it should be. And then Jordan Poole. Hey man, he cashed out and was like, what y'all expect? What more y'all expect?
So did you see the report after the game?
I don't believe I did. Please tell me.
Apparently there was a little bit of tension in the Warriors locker room after Game 4 with the ire toward Jordan Poole because he's been out here looking raggedy in these playoffs, specifically in this series. And all the money that you're talking about that he's making,
$30 million.
More importantly for them, he has got to be the spark off the bench offensively. And he has simply not been that at all.
And the wild thing about it is, even if he is the spark, right? Like best case scenario, Jordan Poole, spark off the bench, giving you bench scoring. Is that worth what he gives up on defense, right? Like I think that the equation on this is so off for him. And this is the way that the Warriors have just been this place where we got to kind of keep going on this. We got to keep pushing this forward. And that's really tough for them because we've come to find out, and hindsight is 2020. It gives you the best vision of what's happening. We look back, at least I look back on it, and I don't want to speak for everyone else, but I look back at all this and I'm like, oh wow, so much of this was built solely on Steph Curry. We're like, oh man, look at the Splash Brothers and all the shooting. Yeah, all of that was because Steph Curry was doing those things and everybody else ate off of it, and they continued to push the ball, keep the ball rolling and push the ball forward on those things. But it started with Steph. And as the other things around him have faded and not, become a little less consistent, he remains the consistent thing. The problem is that now you ask yourself, how much can the 6'3" guard who has otherworldly scoring, who can get to the rim and all those things, how much can he now overcome the rest of the aging team and get over a team that is really good on defense, that is getting the best out of their number one player, at least more often than not right now, and that is also getting the types of performances that steal games, which is your role player stepping up. You mentioned Lonnie Walker, and you asked who could have seen this coming. Apparently, Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker been waiting and biding his time for this opportunity. By the way, Lonnie Walker, one of the most sympathetic figures that I found in these playoffs, right? You talk about a dude who, if you don't remember him or if you don't recall him, is because the last time you saw him, or you probably remembered him, he was playing with the San Antonio Spurs with a big old updo of hair, and he cut that hair off when he fully came to terms with apparently some sexual assault that he had that was done upon him when he was a child, right? Like, he lost his position when it comes to like playing big minutes, and he has done nothing but work really hard to get back to that place. And when his number was called, he was like, I am going to do exactly what you asked me to do. And he seems like a good guy through it. Really great, sympathetic dude on all of this. And they get him to pop up. They get Austin Reeves to pop up when they need to. Who other dude? Rui Hachimura every once in a while thinks that he's Allen Iverson. Right?
Austin Reeves.
So this is just like this is a behemoth in a way for the Warriors to go up against, because they're playing a team that has a lot of defense and is getting the timely performances. I think the Warriors are cooked outside of the idea that they play well at home.
You know what was interesting, though, about Game 4, which was the best game of this series between these two teams? It was a throwback to 2016. Because what did we see in the fourth quarter? LeBron hunting Stephen Curry, bringing him into action, and said, come get this. Come get this work and see if you can handle it. And
hey, Steph, come here.
Yeah. And what happened?
Which is funny because the narrative coming into this series was Steph versus LeBron. And I kind of tried to swat that away as like, hey, Anthony Davis is the best player on this team. And of course, the idea that you're playing team versus team, not individual player. That game actually was Steph versus LeBron, because on the entire game, on offense, the Warriors were saying, we are going to try and match up Hunt to get LeBron and make his 38-year-old bones guard and work the whole time. And then on the other end, the Lakers were like, hey, bring Steph Curry over here and we're going to make his 35-year-old bones work and guard. And it really was LeBron and Steph going back and forth. That was
walking down Steph in the fourth quarter. And next, Lonnie Walker hitting jumpers, and you give the Lakers credit defensively for the way that they were locked down Stephen Curry in the end, because Anthony Davis went full Kevin Love in the final seconds of that game, having his whole moment, being able to not allow Stephen Curry to be able to knock it down. By the way, here's the report. I was mentioning a little bit earlier about the whole Jordan Poole situation.
Yes, please.
This comes, I believe, from Warriors on NBC. Check this out about what tensions were apparently felt after Game 4 for the Warriors.
What did Jordan end up saying? Because we need to acknowledge that this hasn't been a great series for him. Maybe not even a great postseason for him. Something has happened to his shot. It's just not there. We know that he has a good shot, but why is he struggling now? Why is he a little bit uncomfortable? Just reviewing some of the things he said and some pretty short answers. My shot, I don't know. If I knew, I would tell you. He didn't want to talk about himself. He kept saying we have a game in a couple of days. I asked him, I was like, Jordan, we know your work ethic is good. When you feel like you're in a little bit of a funk, when things don't seem normal, what are you doing? Are you getting back in the gym? And he said, well, my work ethic doesn't change, my routine doesn't change, maybe opportunity changes, but you can only control what you can control. So the frustration very clear coming through from Jordan Poole. And then when we all backed out, the music started again, and there was some tension-breaking laughter in the room as reporters and Jordan kind of digested.
As Kareth Burke of NBC covering the Warriors there, detailing what was happening with Jordan Poole after the game was over with. So
I wonder how much of that is just like losing does that to you. But also, like, I can see how that dude and the pressures of all that might break. I realized that we did the whole segment on Lakers Warriors, did not talk about Knicks Heat. I apologize. Also, great question from the 469. Would you compare the current Lakers to the 2011 Mavericks, KG?
No, because I mean, when Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis, he's arguably the best center in the league, even with respect to Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is the best center, but Anthony Davis on both ends of the floor when he's locked in is as good as any in the league. And
So you're saying Dirk wasn't the best power forward when he was locked in?
No, my point is you've got Anthony
Wow,
Davis.
you hear that Dirk slander from KG? That's crazy.
Don't do that. Do not do that. That is not good business here in the Metroplex. That is not what I was doing.
I'm about to get you run out of town.
Don't do that. I kind of like this job. Thank you. But you got AD and LeBron James. The Mavericks simply didn't have two top 20 players in the league on their team. They had one singular dude who put the entire franchise and Metroplex on his back and took him to a championship, with all due respect to Tyson Chandler, Jet Terry, and all the guys that Jason Kidd and everyone who helped.
There it is.
See what you're doing?
The ember has been caught. We're gonna start a fire.
No, we're not doing that.
We're gonna get KG canceled today.
We're not doing that.
You might not.
They get shots from me all the time.
Let me
If they're
tell you
not in the
something.
playoffs, they get shots from me.
We're going to go around the NFL, but the Mavs will catch strays all season, all off season, after, what happened this past year. So, yeah, strays aplenty for them.
That's tough.
Boo this man.
Hey, that's what happens when you fall into the lottery. We're going to have a fascinating conversation about that a little bit later on in the show.
We are?
About this particular scenario, if presented.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. What would you do if you're the Mavericks if you were presented with this particular scenario? That will be at 8:40 tonight here on the Get Right. I need to ensure the ChartRadio.com text line 877-881-1053. Ain't no Dirk slander over here. Okay? I don't know what you thought you heard. 903 or 817 or 214. Who else? Who else? 972.
Go ahead and beat the allegations right quick.
Let me tell you something. What Dirk Nowitzki did in 2011 is one of the greatest athletic achievements in the history of sport.
Preach now.
He ran through the Lakers.
Who else?
He ran through them Young Thunder.
Oh, boy, he did.
Then he told the Heatles, come hold this L.
Come here.
And got that franchise their one and only NBA championship. I tell people all the time, the Mavericks won the title they weren't supposed to win. Because in 06,
that don't sound like you beating the allegations.
Listen to me. Because in 06,
You said they weren't supposed to win?
that was the title that they should have had. And then, of course, we know what happened there.
So you said Dirk messed that one up?
No. What are you doing? Relax.
It's ice
But
right
Dirk said, no, I'm going to put this epic story here out for the world to see. I'm going to take out LeBron, D-Wade, Chris Bosh, South Florida. All y'all can hold that L. And I'm going to take this team to a title. And that's exactly what Dirk did. One of the most incredible titles in NBA history. Period. Relax. Who is this? This was going around the NFL. 214. KG's going to be reading the news on the AM radio in Alaska if we keep bad mouthing Dirk. Relax.
Wait, is that job just reading the newspaper? Because I feel like I would like that job.
Mm-hmm. Really, A17 KG needs to get right with his stance on the 2011 match. He said Dirk was washed. That is not what I said.
Wow.
And 214, I don't think you understand. I don't care what you think it is that way. I'm just saying.
What were those words you just said?
I said I don't care if he thinks that the show was that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What you thought I said. You just trying to run me out of the job tonight? What are you doing over there?
Oh no, it's fine.
You want the show by yourself?
I'm putting you on.
Putting
you on the summer.
Clearly, he wants a
screen right
solo show. Here, you heard it first. Reggie wants to get right all by himself. He wants me out of here.
You know me.
He wants to run the show by himself.
You know me. Always looking for extra work.
Let's go around
There it is.
the NFL. That's right, 817. Beating Kobe, playing for a second three-peat makes that win even better than beating LeBron. I hear you. Oh, thank you, 817. You guys are great. Love you too.
We're all right.
Too. I think we're pretty great.
Okay. Cool.
I like to think
You're entitled to your opinion.
We're serviceable human beings.
The Houston Texans, shout out to them. They reached a 3-year extension with Shaq Mason. Shaq Mason today getting a 3-year, $36 million contract extension from the Houston Texans. The 29-year-old also gets a $10 million signing bonus. So shout out to Mr. Mason getting paid. in March, of course, the Texans acquired Mason from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a 2023 sixth round pick.
And I mean, like, the expectation, I think the over-under for the Texans next season is still 6.5, which might make that trade up. You know, trading their first round pick for next year might make it a little, dicey. However, they low-key got a really nice offensive line put together. Like, they are building the building blocks of a good team. Are they going to be able to land the plane? I don't know. It's the Houston Texans, but they're building something there that is really intriguing.
Well, for me, what makes this intriguing, and relax, 972, KG, you sound like old Madden head with talking about Greg Jennings, talking about Dirk. Don't you ever put me and Greg Jennings' name together in a sentence. Don't you ever do that.
Whoa.
Don't you ever do that. That clown on television.
Whoa.
Anyway, the commitment that they made to D'Amico Ryans I thought was fascinating. They gave him, I think it was a 5-year deal, 5 or 6-year deal. To be the head coach there. They got their franchise quarterback in C.J. Stroud, which they hope turns that way. They gave up, a whole bunch to go get Will Anderson to make him their franchise pass rusher. They've got foundation there. Quarterback, edge rusher, foundational head coach that wants to be there and wants to build that program. So we'll see what Houston can do as they continue to build what they believe is a winner going forward for them. Really cool story here in the NFL. We'll get to a couple of the highlights of the schedule, these release of some of the schedule, as the full schedule will be released tomorrow. Wow.
You just keep falling for the bait. No.
Well, here's because this was funny.
Oh, okay.
From the 817, KG acting like Smush Parker of radio right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Reginald Attitula. Smush Parker, NBA champion, right?
Oh, wow. You went that route. Yes, Smush Parker has a ring.
That's all I got to say.
Okay, fantastic.
Champion.
Also, Smush Parker, unnecessary punching bag for Kobe. Kobe was so bad to that man.
For no reason.
God.
For no reason. No reason. Really cool story, though, in the NFL. Foster Moreau.
Yes.
He is going to sign with the Saints. The free agent tight end Foster Moreau, who was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma earlier this year, has agreed to a contract with the Saints. The team announced today. The terms were not disclosed, but it looks like it's a 3-year deal worth $12 million, including $8 million guaranteed and $3 million in incentives. So congratulations to the 26-year-old who was diagnosed after a physical conducted by the Saints medical staff in March. As a part of the free agency process, Moreau visited the Saints in New Orleans and visited the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's a pretty cool full circle story for him to be able to sign with the Saints after all of that.
Super happy that, after getting what for a lot of people would seem like just like a entirely earth-stopping diagnosis, that he's able to continue to do something that he loves or at least wants to do, right? I don't know if he loves football like that. That's not for me to decide, but it does seem like he really wants to do this, and like just the idea that he still has enough control of his life to be like, nah, I want to do this and I will continue to do this, and no diagnoses will stop me, right? That's always going to be inspirational, I think, or aspirational, whatever the right word is in that moment for anybody looking on, right? Like these diagnoses or whatever tribulations might come your way, you can find a way to overcome them and still do things that are near and dear and important to you.
Shout out to the NFL for getting this hyped over a calendar, because tomorrow you'll have the full 2023 NFL.
And we'll break it down right here on 105.3 The Fan.
That's right. The full schedule for the 2023 NFL season will be released tomorrow. But we got some leaks today. Go ahead and read it.
No, I'm not going to.
Go ahead and read
We're
it.
going around the NFL.
No, go ahead and read it.
No. Just keep going. Please. Please.
Why don't they just move Jacksonville to London at this point?
They're trying.
Like, just
give them. They're trying.
Just
give them time.
Put them over there at this point. That's because the Jacksonville Jaguars. released fully tomorrow, we may see that game maybe week 1. Would you be down for Aaron Rodgers coming to AT&T Stadium against Big Mike and the Cowboys week 1 at AT&T? Would you be down for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch all these games, so like whenever it happens, cool.
And
that might give you a little insight to how I feel about the schedule release. But yeah, no, like, oh yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah, that game would do serious numbers. By the way, the other international games, Ravens, Titans, they'll also play at Tottenham Hotspur. Dolphins, Chiefs.
Ravens, Titans, that sounds like that's going to be a nasty football game. We love exporting just some of the nasty ones, don't we?
Well, hopefully Malik Willis will be a part of that because, there's that. Dolphins, Chiefs.
Will Levis slander.
He can catch the slander for you.
Wow, okay.
Dolphins, Chiefs at Frankfurt, and Colts, Patriots also at Frankfurt.
Like I said, exporting gruel.
I mean, Dolphins, Chiefs, though, that's a hell of a football game.
We gave him one. We gave him one.
Yeah, I'm a little mad that game is, overseas because that would have been a hell of a game at Arrowhead Stadium.
We were like, you got to take this one. You got to take Colts Patriots if you want to get Dolphins Chiefs. All right.
Okay, so prediction. Who's going to have the coolest NFL schedule released from their social media group?
I actually don't remember. Like, there's a couple of teams that actually do this really well, and I can't recall off the top of my head.
The Bears have already given us a little bit of preview of theirs.
Bears usually put a lot of effort into theirs, which is crazy because they don't put a lot of effort into the football team.
Seth freaking Rollins is going to be a part of their schedule release.
Okay, all right.
Who knows if Des Bryant may be a part of the Cowboys one? Who knows? Maybe we'll see.
All right.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. Usually do theirs pretty good. Stephen A. Smith, did the whole schedule release, recently. Chicago, Chargers. Who actually does the coolest schedule release on their social media group? The Rams. Remember the Rams I think it was a couple years ago, they had a whole movie.
Yeah.
With all the stars and that kind of thing.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams and their release there. So, full schedule tomorrow. You're going to be ready for that calendar, that whole 3-hour special on the NFL Network.
We will do a segment on the Get Right. That is all I can promise.
As a trip around the NFL here and the schedule on the Get Right. We're KG on 105.3 The Fan. Coming up next here on the Get Right, what did we learn from the NFC East this offseason, including this for the Cowboys? We do it next on 105.3 The Fan.
Always a welcome sign for this clubhouse, featuring breaking sports news, inside info, opinion, with laughs along the way. Turn it on, leave it on. The Fan and the Honesty.
Business owners, are you feeling the pressures of growing your business? It's tough to maintain momentum and still
keep employees engaged. Insperity can help. They put over 35 years of HR experience to work, helping you with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance while giving your employees competitive benefit options. When your people thrive, your business can adapt and prosper. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Scalable HR, employee benefits, HR technology. Insperity, HR that makes a difference. See what's possible at Insperity.com.
Friends, are your investments going nowhere? Here's a tip that always pays big dividends. Invest in yourself, your talent, your smarts, your skills. Maybe it's time to make that investment and start a career in IT or upskill to boost your current career. And my computer career, you can bank on them. They'll help you get the right skills and the right certifications to start or advance your IT career. IT keeps growing. So go with the growth of my computer career. The right training, the right timing, the right career. Invest in you at mycomputercareer.edu. Start now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with the healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Hi, it's Gavin Dawson, and I've got amazing news from Window Nation. You can modernize and reinvest in your home today with new windows from Window Nation, and it's their best deal. 0% interest for 5 full years. On top of that, you'll get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy. It's a double deal. You'll get all the advantages of more comfort, lower energy bills, higher home value, and jealous neighbors, all with the impeccable construction and expert installation Window Nation is known for. They've placed nearly 2 million windows with 96% perfection, making them one of the top window companies in the country. If your home is over 15 to 20 years old, this is one of the smartest investments you can make. And Window Nation is making it insanely easy and economical to do it. Call today, 866-90NATION, or visit windownation.com. Lock in these incredible savings. 0% interest for 5 years. That's 60 months interest-free, plus 2 windows free with every 2 you purchase. Call 866-90NATION or go to windownation.com. That's 866-90NATION or online at windownation.com and tell them Gavin Dawson sent you.
Hurtado Barbecue, the official barbecue restaurant of the Texas Rangers, is your go-to for the best barbecue around. Voted top 50 barbecue in the state. Hurtado Barbecue Field, Hurtado Barbecue, and the Texas Rangers, where great barbecue meets baseball. Hurtado Barbecue specializes in Tex-Mex barbecue, with locations in downtown Arlington, Fort Worth, and now Globe Life Field, Section 101. For more information, visit HurtadoBBQ.com. Hurtado Barbecue. Baby Doll Saloon Dallas is the ultimate after-work happy hour spot. A true home away from home. You won't want to miss our daily buffet Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Plus our stadium buffet Monday through Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday from noon to 10 p.m. Join the fan next Wednesday, May 17th for our monthly VIP party with free barbecue all day. Baby Dolls is your sports headquarters. Fights with no extra cover charge. Baby Doll Saloon in 250 Shady Trail. Legend lives on. Eric Chiafalo here, the G-Bag Nation, and Tolos. Honestly, I've been a little bit apprehensive about handling firearms, but thanks to the great folks over at Shoot Smart, that's no longer the case. I now have the confidence and the ability to protect my family at the highest level. Shoot Smart's mission is to make you feel safe and comfortable while at their range. Over 20,000 DFW residents have graduated from their training programs, and you can be next. Visit shootmart.com to book your one-on-one lesson or with the class. Get on the range or shop at a location near you. That's shootsmart.com.
This is the exclusive home of Dallas Cowboys football. KRLD-FM and HD1, Dallas, Fort Worth. Let's go, Cowboys.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
From our fan studios, secured by DFWSecurity.com, it's time for the Get Right on 105.3 The Fan.
Hour number 2 of the Get Right. We're Reg KG on 105.3 The Fan. What did we learn from the NFC East this offseason? We'll have that discussion here on your home with the Cowboys and Texas Rangers. 105.3 The Fan. Appreciate you joining us on Odyssey and the Odyssey app, the truckbreak.com text line 877-881-1053, 877-881-1053 if you want to get in on the conversation. At Kevin Gray Sports, at Reg Tula. I had to hold myself together because I got distracted for a hot second because they were showing Celebrity Row at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that's a lot of people there, ain't it?
Yeah, Chris Rock was there. You know, John McEnroe was there.
Oh, Mackerel always at those games, isn't he?
Then Sierra popped up on the Yeah, with Sean Payton and company. Yeah, weren't they, chilling court?
Well, I guess you didn't say Russ was there. You said Sierra was there.
Yeah, Sierra.
She might be in New York. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, did they fly out?
I mean,
they could.
They could, they got it like that. So, they wanted to take a red eye from.
Sorry, my poor brain was just like, they were in 2 days on separate nights. How does that work?
How does that travel work? Yeah, it's called a plane these days. But, yeah.
Haven't been in one of those in a while.
Have you really? Not, have you? Oh, I was about to say, we need the chat.
I will be on a plane in less than a month. Don't worry about
me. Oh, that's right.
Don't worry about me.
That's right. Vacation on the way from my man Red.
Yeah, my pocket's already hurting.
But you're gonna have a good time though.
That's right.
That's all that matters. You're gonna have a good time.
I'm better for the cause.
That's all that matters. By the way, the Knicks are having a good time at the Madison Square Garden right now.
That's what we call a segue.
Yeah, because they're up 70-54 right now on the Miami Heat in game number 5 of their series as the Knicks look to stave off elimination.
They will not go quietly into that good night.
To extend their series against the Miami Heat. But let's have a little NFL conversation here on your home of the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to the Cowboys rookie mini camp. Going to be starting on Friday.
Time. We already have rookie mini camps that have concluded around the NFL. Let's go.
That's true. That's true. We'll get our first look at Mozzie Smith in a Dallas Cowboys uniform, albeit in jersey and shorts this week. But at the same time, going to be interesting to see the big man out there.
You know who he's going to look like?
What's that?
Big. That's
good call.
I was actually listening to an interesting. I think it might have been Dominic Foxworth at ESPN that was making this point. It's a really good one though. The learning curve for defensive tackle in the NFL is very small, right? Because like there's not much that like a defensive philosophy or like a defensive scheme. There's not much that's going to change for the defensive tackle. Right? Interior defensive lineman. Are you big? Can you muscle that dude across from you? That's basically what is going to come like, hey, can you stunt or like, can you cover? We're not doing all that other stuff. So like, the idea of is he going to be a good pick for you? Like, I feel like the bust potential is incredibly low. Incredibly low. Is he going to show up and be big? Cool. Yeah, it worked out.
And we'll get to see him on Friday as the Cowboys open up rookie minicamp. What did we learn about the NFC East this offseason? This coming from the Ringer. Several statements about these teams that I found very interesting. We'll get to the Cowboys here momentarily. But let's start with the other teams in the NFC East before we get there. And we'll start, speaking of New York, we'll start with the Giants, because the statement that's made by the Ringer here is they're taking a gamble on Daniel Jones's upside. Now remember, this is a team that gave Mr. Jones a 4-year, $160 million contract. Or if you heard that contract number before, Dak Prescott, with $82 million fully guaranteed. They are taking a gamble on Daniel Jones because I don't know if that is the move that they needed to make. The franchise tag would have made sense for him, I think, but they decided to go ahead and go all in on Daniel Jones to the tune of 40 Maulers. And remember, the last 3 seasons, Daniel Jones has played in more games than he has touchdown passes.
Yeah, and this is the tough part about it, right?
Each of the last 3 seasons.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
No, you're right. You're good.
You did a great job. Betting on Daniel Jones to be sufficient is one thing. Betting on Daniel Jones' upside is entirely different. idea that he has that mobility,
he can run the ball a little bit.
Is something that we've always known about him, and the idea of bringing in Mans from Buffalo to be the head coach, right? And the idea that he worked with Josh Allen in that progression, and maybe saw his capabilities, the progression with Daniel Jones is another thing as well. Daniel Jones doesn't have the raw abilities that Josh Allen does. Daniel Jones did not have the upside that was projected or that was hidden within the terrible accuracy of Josh Allen. The upside on that does not seem particularly high, and then also I don't know what level of unlocking needs to be done for him to be all that incredible. So I'm wondering, like, what is the upside that you were anticipating or that you expecting from him? Because I think that you can get out of him solid play, but I don't think that you get it, that you will be able to find, you go mining in Daniel Jones and find an elite quarterback that will, like, that you will give you a whole bunch. I think you might be able to just continue to eke out solid play. And so that type of contract that they signed him for, and the idea here that the Ringer puts forth for us is that they're gambling on upside, and I simply don't think that that's a possibility to be found there.
You're hoping that Dable maximizes whatever Daniel Jones is. And he was discernibly better last year. And I think for Giants fans and for those who support that team, seeing that Jones actually got better with better coaching, I think gives them maybe some hope that as Dable continues to work with him, the upside will continue to be brought out by him because of the work that he has already done and the improvements is what we learned from the Eagles. They believe fully in the Jalen Hurts experience. They surrounded him with talent to get him to this spot. He was able to help them get to the Super Bowl. And now they are going to make that commitment to him for the foreseeable